www.webmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here to have the wonderful, lovely Ron Cates on with us. Hello, Ron. How you doing?
Hello, glad to be here.
Good. Good to have you here. This is going to be a very exciting stream. Richard and I have talked about this this week-long adventure happening since we first talked about it at full access, and it is finally here. Ron has an extremely cool product that allows you to easily integrate FileMaker and WordPress, which, as a lot of us are still using WordPress sites, will continue to use WordPress sites, that becomes a rather vital tool and skill set. So, we're going to talk about it for the whole week, which will be awesome. Ron today will be showing off a lot of demos or a lot of stuff about basically what it looks like, what like your end product looks like, and then we'll walk through how to actually get to that point in time. So that'll be awesome. So I'll be doing that for Monday through Friday, and then next week we'll have an adventure with conditional formatting versus hide object, which the hiding things in FileMaker can always get a little squirrely just because it is a double negative, as Richard likes to say, which is always entertaining. Real quick, if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to drop by and pick up one of our annual subscription bundles. If you'd like to support Ron, so the website again is, I think you sent it to me in the chat, which of course, if Zoom wants to comply with me, it'll allow me to pop it up, but no. There it is, chat. CWP Snippets. Here we go. Which I will be sharing with you people, so you can come see it. This will be awesome. We'll go through, I'm sure, all this in detail from the features to the pricing. But I'll be sharing this. And of course, his actual website is, I will share this with the class, as it were, toss that around. I'm kind of excited to get into it. So I'm going to cut my little intro spiel short. I can ramble about how you should support us, which you will, and I'll get back to that. But I want to know what we're doing today, Ron. So, what are we doing today?
All right, gonna throw me right into the fire.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm here to
Okay.
talk you through it. So don't worry. I'm not vanishing anywhere.
All right, I guess I'll go ahead and share my screen
Please do.
and we can get started. And so one of the things that I kind of want everybody to know is that we have done a lot of work getting ready for this show, creating a bunch of integrations and snippets in our plugin to integrate with FileMaker Starting Point, FM Starting Point. So this is actually going to highlight and showcase the ability to connect to FM Starting Point for all those people that are actually using it. So I'll jump right in. I'm just going to kind of jump over to the demo site that we threw together. Um,
Yes.
yeah, don't get too excited. It's just a demo site. So if you see missing images and things that don't look real polished, that's because it's just a demo site. But one of the things that we're going to be showing, I guess we'll jump right into it. Today we're going to be talking about, we're going to go over installation and setup and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk a little bit about planning and about best standards for best usage. What do I want to put it? What are the
Best practices?
best practices? That's the word I'm looking for using the data API. And we'll go over all that starting in a few minutes. But right now, what I wanted to show was some of the very useful things that you can do
Yes. Because I always hear
with
like,
this connectivity. So let's start with, we'll go to accounts. And one of the things that's going to be pretty interesting that we'll start with tomorrow is being able to set up online invoicing. So what I've done
really?
here, yep. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and set up uh, the um, the integration with our demo website. And if I click here, that brings up and shows I can pull an invoice directly from the invoice in FM Starting Point. So this page is pulling directly from the data in FM Starting Point, and it's building an invoice. But also, we kind of moved along and did that further by integrating our payment system. So we have integrated a Stripe payment system so that your customer could actually pay online. And the payment is processed online. The data is bundled up and sent back to FileMaker. And then with a FileMaker script, we pick up that data, and we create the payment record, and we mark the payment, and we mark the invoice paid, all that good stuff. So
That's cool. That's really
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So we've done this in two different ways because one of the things we'll go over is that CWP Snippets has a freemium
Mm-hmm.
offering for when you
Ooh.
first download it. And so we actually built one using the freemium option so that you don't have to actually pay to license the pro version to be able to do this. So there's a lot of options for being able to do things without having to buy the pro license. The pro license does make it a whole lot easier, and we've got some really great stuff that the pro license will hopefully really great incentives for buying the pro license. But one of the things is that we've created a Stripe bundle that is like a ready-made snippet that you can import to your website and connect payment options to it. The difference between this one and the one I just showed you is that when somebody pays this invoice
Mm-hmm.
online, the data actually gets logged to the WordPress website and then sent to FileMaker so that then, your FileMaker script picks it up and does its thing. But the question is, what happens if the data fails to get received by FileMaker? Well, with this option, you have a log of that same data in the website, so you can actually go and try to resend it. So you can resend that data. So that makes it, with the first option that's based on the freemium option,
Mm-hmm.
um, we can actually built in, and we have built in, it will email the administrator if the FileMaker connection fails, and it'll send all the data to the administrator.
Well,
But
that's
Can I
there's
ask a
nice.
can I
Oh,
ask a, this is Richard, I'm here. Can I ask a
Hey,
couple
Richard.
questions?
Sure.
So we're 5 minutes into this, and I mean this is already beyond super awesome. So is it freemium for your product, or
Yeah.
so we're clear on what we're talking about. So can
Okay,
you
so the
re
CWP Snippets plugin comes, you
Mhm.
can download it and install it for free.
Okay.
And what that gives you is that full development environment and the ability to
Mhm.
write code snippets into your WordPress website and easily
Okay.
connect to FileMaker. What the Pro version gives you is the ability to do global functions and scripts and CSS and to be able to extend that functionality. And as you'll see this week, as we demo some of this stuff, um, what we've done is we've actually created a bunch of free downloadable snippets that
So
we've pre-written.
pre-built snippets. Okay.
Right. So I was just mentioning the Stripe bundle.
mm-hmm.
When you install Stripe bundle into CWP snippets, it actually installs an admin page where you can go and set up your credentials, and set up your FileMaker syncing and your all of your settings. And then it also logs your transactions. So I can compare
Okay.
to any one of these transactions and view and resend those transactions. So
That's
that's all
All
part
right.
of the
stuff.
So
pro, correct?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
all stuff
So
that's made possible by
all right. So I got to call
CWP.
timeout, timeout, timeout,
Yeah.
timeout, timeout. So you're busy. So anytime a salesperson comes to me and lays on the premium stuff this early in the conversation, I get nervous. I like to know how much we're talking about on pricing.
Okay.
So just, I mean, because we keep talking about it. I mean, we're not even 8 minutes into this conversation, and it's going 5,000 miles an hour. So if we want these additional capabilities, what does that I mean, we're obviously going to spend the rest of the day talking about this, but what am I
Yeah.
talking about? Because if it's like
So,
$5,000 a year, this conversation is dead. So,
right. So I'll slow it down a little bit and we'll kind of jump back to and we'll go over the pricing.
well, just
Essentially,
briefly, so we don't have to spend a lot of
yeah.
time on it. So,
Well, we're definitely not looking to get rich on the licensing on this thing. So it starts off at $99 a year for one
uh
site. So the licensing is based on per site licensing. And so we
okay,
have, bundle pricing so that you can get price discounts based on how many sites you want to put it on. So
okay.
it's
So if you have like a e-commerce site and once again, you don't have to have the premium version, but
Well, no,
if you want the additional capabilities, right? That's the point of
correct.
what we're talking about here. So,
Yeah.
so for some things, some of you might get away with the free version. For other of you, you try it out for maybe $99, which seems like probably a really good time savings at a personal level. If it's a lot of this
Yeah.
has already been developed, right?
Yeah.
Um, you'd have to have a business that focused on this if you were going to do something like the enterprise where you're doing unlimited amount of
Sure.
sites or
Sure.
whatever. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
okay.
and we actually have a free versus pro feature chart here that talks about all the different things that are
Yeah.
free, which is a large,
A
we've got a
large chunk.
large feature set of free features,
Uh-huh.
and then we get to, but some of these pro features are extremely powerful. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. That's good. All right, cool. I just want to frame it so people don't feel like we're doing because I just dealt with a company that pulled the sales weasel movement on me. Not a FileMaker company, it was a loan company, and I wanted to wring their neck. So I want
Yeah.
to point out that this seems pretty reasonable for what you're doing. So either you can use the free stuff in whatever capability it has. If you want pre-built stuff, more pre-built stuff, then you can pay a couple bucks and solve that problem. Okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right.
And the pro version opens up the ability to, if you're getting in there, and especially these days with AI, like the sky is the limit on what you can do with it. But what we found is we can build a lot of the same stuff in the free version, but with the extra tools of the pro version, takes us a lot less time and we can do a lot more cool stuff with it. So we can save ourselves a lot of time with the pro version as well.
There you
Um,
go. Okay, so the
so
one demo you've showed is the invoicing demo, which is very cool. So I
yeah,
assume that you have more demos for me, or you.
yeah. So one of the other things I wanted to show, this group and stuff always confuses me with these. Can I break out of that delete group? Okay. So one of the other things that I wanted to show, what we can do with CWP snippets is not just limited to what we can do on the website, but it's what we can use the website for from FileMaker. So to extend this whole being able to pay invoices functionality, one of the things that we're able to do is create an endpoint with CWP snippets that allows us to pull in a Stripe payment form into the FileMaker database. So I can actually process a credit card right from this payment form within FM starting point.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hang on. So PCI question here. Go
Yeah.
back to that. Margaret, this is something you're not aware, but I'm going to pull a call time out here. So are we storing the credit card data in FileMaker?
We are not, and we're not using FileMaker fields to send the credit card data. So by using a web viewer,
So this is a
and
web viewer in here over in this
yes,
section.
so
Okay.
by using a web viewer and pulling in this part of the form from a securely hosted website, that's what Stripe recommends to be able to make this PCI compliant.
All right. So back up real
So,
quick. Some of you would know about PCI compliance, PCI DSS or DDS or whatever it is. Margaret, so real quick, for those of you who've not run into this, because of all the bad people in the world who do bad shit with credit cards, one of the way that bad people get into stuff is you have a credit card that's like literally like on a post-it note that's stuck where's my phone, on a computer, and
Mm-hmm.
people leave credit cards around with a 3 or 4 digit security code and expiration, all sort of stuff. Or you have a database system which is unencrypted and not protected, and the people are lazy because why not, right? And so if you store credit card data in a file in any solution, let's say it's FileMaker solution, then the people who run the security for Visa and all this other stuff, they're going to crawl up your ass and try to and they deliberately you're going to give them the address of your server, and they're going to try to attack your server and verify that it's good. It becomes a giant pain in the ass. So the easiest thing to do is to use something like this, um, and um, and that's a web viewer. So the data is never saved in FileMaker, right? The other
Okay.
thing
Is it
sometimes you'll see is like maybe a global field in FileMaker, although doing it with a web viewer is even better. But the global fields on a hosted solution are never saved, right? The idea is that you don't save it in the database, therefore you're not attacked. So this gives us another avenue with using this WordPress solution to get a credit card process without you actually um, having or seeing or at any point controlling the credit card number. It's such a big deal.
okay? That makes sense. I never even thought about that. Is the web viewer encrypted? Do you have to have that be encrypted on some level,
Well,
or is
but
it
the
just?
web viewer is coming from probably Square or Stripe or whoever the hell it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
their web server, whatever that
Oh,
is.
so it's their problem, not ours.
Correct. And they're already used to going through the certification process for all this stuff. So did you get bumped or did you bump yourself? What
uh,
happened?
no, I got bumped something with our
Other
internet
people are
here.
saying that they
My
saw it.
my internet here at the office is still having trouble connected, so I've actually hotspotted to my cell phone.
So there, okay. So I was just finishing the conversation about why DSS is important and why having dumped the responsibility of credit card processing to a third party so you don't have to be audited, which is a really a great thing, Ron.
Yeah.
So I was making
Yeah.
the case for you, and I was trying to stretch the conversation out because
Oh,
somehow Ron uh, died a horrible death.
oh,
Margaret, what do
that's
you
a
got?
funny
Yeah. And
joke.
I
The
was, whew.
PCI DSS people heard you talking about him and started giving him personal attention.
Well, listen, just to be clear, I'll just finish this up. I have personally, we used to do this where we'd have the credit card, wouldn't keep it, but we would process it. And so because briefly we had control of it, they wanted to come in and attack our shit. And our server had a static address, which of course the server would have a static address, and they lost their shit. So we had to it was a bunch of hurdles to jump through. And so anyway, it's way better unless you have a big company just to offshore up dump out the credit card processing to someone. And while it looks like a FileMaker solution right here, we're saying that this section or right here on his screen is that a web viewer right there? We're assuming
That
that
is a
is.
web viewer. And
Yeah.
so what we've done is we've created an endpoint on our website using CWP Snippets, and we're
Okay.
passing our Stripe key through that. And that's pulling in that section of the form. So now we do have, and this is something that again is available in our as a free download, a Stripe endpoint. It also comes with a sample FileMaker database that has the scripting for the rest of the process.
Okay.
So once we send the credit card data through this form in the web viewer, it establishes the payment in Stripe and then brings back an ID for that payment. Then we pass that ID to the rest of the FileMaker script that can use the Stripe API to finish the process. So we'll get into that more. And that was kind of the whole invoicing solution was kind of my plan for tomorrow to break it down and show how we
Okay,
put it all
that's cool.
together.
I'm gonna be mostly around, but I'm a little bit around. So Margaret, you keep driving the conversation. If you don't see me, I'm there in spirit, right? So yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let me jump back in over here on our demo site and back to the database. So that's one big thing that we've done with this. The other one that we put a lot of work into putting together
Mm-hmm.
is a customer portal. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
so built right into FM Starting Point. And in our demo site over here, we can go to account and we can log in, and it brings us to our dashboard in our website, which is pulling all that information directly from the accounts page. We've got everything in here we've got an account.
That's cool. That's
We've
very
got,
cool.
we can pull up all the account information and we can edit it from here. And anything that gets edited from here gets saved directly to the FileMaker database.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then even we've got contacts. We can go to contacts. We can even edit. And let's see. Let me grab my documents. We can grab a picture and we can actually crop it right from here. Now, and we can save, and it saves it, crops it, and saves it right back to the FileMaker database.
That's cool. So it
So,
takes the cropped version and updates it in the container field, I assume?
yep. And
Nice.
the cropping is done with JavaScript that is all built in CWP snippets. So it's all part of what we can build within that coding environment that CWP snippets provides. So, and just like the account, we can edit the rest of the contact information. We can see notes and things like that. Then we have estimates. So we're really kind of going through the whole contacts, estimates, invoices, projects, and we're building it all into a customer portal. Even the functionality as far as when we look at an estimate, we can come to convert to invoice. And when we click that, it's actually going to FileMaker and running the script in FM Starting Point that converts an estimate to a invoice, and it brings us over to it in the invoices.
Oh, that's really
So
cool. That's
yeah.
interesting. I assume you could make it so the customer would pay. Like when they hit convert to invoice, you can have it so it pop up like a
Yep.
pay. Okay.
So we show the green check mark that shows that it's been converted to an invoice. We can go over to invoices, and yes, we've got another version of the invoice here in the customer portal. And within the customer portal, you also have the option to pay the invoice from within here as well. So this is a little bit different invoice design because we kind of decided to do a customer portal design. So this one
Mm-hmm.
looks a little different than the other ones. But again, that shows the versatility of being able to build it however you want to build it. So,
That's really awesome, actually. That's
yeah.
really cool. People are typing.
So
Unshocking.
yeah, so we've, built all that in, and then of course we have projects as well. Um, and yeah, so it's a complete customer portal. This is actually, this is just about production ready for anybody that's using FM Starting Point if they wanted to be able to have a customer portal. Like we've built it all out. Now, we're not giving this all away free at this point because it's one of those things where like this portal takes a lot of work to make sure it's connected properly and build the pages
Mm-hmm.
properly and all that kind of stuff. So it's not something we can really box up and distribute. But it's basically to show the
What you
just
can do
the
with.
possibilities. Yeah, the possibilities. And things like the payment, invoicing payment is available as that's all we discussed. We have that snippet library. I should show that. We've got under CWP Snippets, if you go to the snippet library, here's all those pre-written snippets that are available.
Okay,
So
so.
we've got ones that will work with the free version.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we've got a whole lot more that will work with the paid version.
I
And there are
anticipate that you're going to
some,
show me how to use these at some point because I get they're
right,
saying it's a snippet, but I
as
don't
we go,
totally
yeah,
grasp what that means.
as we go through the week, we'll be able to demonstrate using these. And here's an example of not all of them are strictly about the connectivity to FileMaker. Here's an example of we built a snippet for the image cropper that somebody can download to be able to integrate an image cropper into their page. Um, and so we just, we like sharing what we're doing. So when we build these things for our use cases, we then turn around and think, oh, we can package this up and make this available to everybody else too. So it's kind of what we're all about is sharing what we're doing and making it available to everybody. Um,
We have
so
some
yeah, and
questions, which
then
I'm going to toss at you real fast. Do you mind?
sure, absolutely.
Cool. What pay tier do you need to access that photo cropping feature?
What's what pay tier? The photo cropping is you can actually thinking about it. I set it up in the pro version, but I'm trying to think if there's anything restricting it from actually being used in the free version. I'll have to look into that. I may be able to adapt it for the free version. But for now, the snippet that we have available is built in the pro version. So, and of course, as far as pay tier, there's really just the one pay tier of pro. It
It's just
just
so many
depends on
websites,
how
right?
many site licenses is where the tiers come in. So 100 $100 a year for a single site, and you can have all of those snippets in the library and be able to use them. So um, then we've been talking a lot about the snippet library, which is actually our Friday focus was going to be on going over a bunch of the different snippets that we have available in the library. But Thursday, we were going to talk about a shopping cart. So under accessories in our demo site, we actually have a shopping cart that takes the products from the products table in FM Starting Point and pulls them into a shopping cart. And you can actually view the details. You can add it to cart. Oops. Uh-oh.
So the
Oh,
wonder thing
dude.
of feeling about live
I think
demos is that you get bugs.
I think I hit view cart before I hit add to cart.
Oh, there you go.
So let's see, view cart. Yeah, there
This
we
is
go.
so
Now it's in the
cool.
cart. And of course, and this actually is integrated with our Stripe bundle setup so that we can actually integrate payments here as well. So that,
Okay.
yeah. So let's see if I went ahead to,
So I assume if you add products inside the FileMaker cited database, the things that you can add to cart increase.
yes, yeah, you can, that's completely under the user's control. And again, you know, like this, this isn't ready yet for distribution in the snippet library, but we're working on a free light version of a shopping cart that
Mm-hmm.
somebody can just import, connect to their products table, and be able to like quickly spin up a working shopping cart. Um, But one of the things with this, of course, is that everybody's database is different. So it takes
Mm-hmm.
a lot of customization to be able to make sure that you're using the right tables and fields from your own database. So, um, so we're working on coming up with like a free starting version of this that can be
Mm-hmm.
easily integrated. And again, going back to the fact that the beauty of AI today is that I can take that products page and then give AI a sample of my own data from my own database and ask it to just go ahead and convert it to my database. And it will do that pretty seamlessly and pretty quickly. So we are really at a time where we can really benefit from AI, and CWP Snippets is really in a position to be able to benefit from people being able to do so much more because they have AI to be able to use as a tool. So, and we're open to be able to demonstrate that throughout the week as well. So I didn't end up showing the payment option there because I think maybe we did not connect it. Where's the trying to see where's the CWP store?
What payment option are you talking about?
We're using the same Stripe. That's where it is, Stripe
Ah,
Bundle. See, because we've got Stripe Bundle installed, we can select Stripe Bundle for the payment option. And then when we go and proceed to checkout, which then we can actually show that we have, oh, might have to refresh. Let me try again. And I might have to have Alex go through this again, make sure it's working before we demonstrate it the next later
it,
on. But
it's the curse of live demos. If you try to demo something
yeah,
live,
well aware, well aware. It always kind of goes that way. So let's go back to view card. So when
we
we
bought
hit
two of
this,
these.
yeah, proceed to checkout. Shouldn't we have a payment option down here? Okay. So yeah, we're having a bug there. When Stripe Bundle is connected, that we should see a payment option down here. So we'll work through that bug before we get to that on Thursday. So
Okay, cool. So these are some
so
really fantastic demos.
yeah. So that pretty much covers the week. Like I said, at the end of the week, we're going to go over some of the other snippets available. Some of the really great ones that I'm super proud of is like we have an endpoint snippet so that you can create your own webhook endpoint in your website so that you can put in a webhook anywhere else. Oh, Alex says he's got it working, so we might take another look. Um, like for instance, you can put a webhook in WooCommerce
Mm-hmm.
and send that data to this snippet, which will log the data and then send it on to FileMaker. So, and you can do that from outside of your website. You can do it in your Stripe payment dashboard, things like that. So you can actually, I hate to say it, but in some respects, it's kind of a replacement for uh, Claris Connect. Like you can do a lot of the same things you can do with Claris Connect. You can set up your own endpoint, and instead of sending that data to Claris Connect and having Claris Connect send it to FileMaker, you can use your own website to be that hub. So that's one of the neat ones. We have one for being able to upload images from your FileMaker database to your website. So yeah, lots of neat snippets in the library, and that's
Yes,
what we're
that's going to be awesome. Okay, so before I redirect you, because I want to know exactly if I'm a beginner and I want to start using this right now, where do I start?
yeah,
But I'm going to toss you real fast. The website is hosted in Hostinger? Question mark.
yes,
Uh, and then, hi, Cora. Cora has already tried to go download this and figure out how to get it to work, and then uh, has a question about it. I think I'm going to
okay,
save that for the end, Cora, if you don't mind, because I don't want to
okay,
derail us completely before we get into the basics. But
yeah,
I will ask this question later. Uh,
but
so
yeah, so yes, we
where do
do
we
use
begin? I
yeah,
am going to go download this on your free website, and I have a shiny new database. So what am I
okay.
doing?
So we are going to go. It does have to be downloaded from our website. I'm sorry to say we have not gotten it approved for the WordPress repository yet. So you can't just go to plugins and WordPress and search for it in the repository.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that is because they have a lot of snippet plugins already, essentially, is what they said, and they don't see the value of adding another snippet plugin. And we tried to appeal and point out that this is all about integration with FileMaker. And their attitude was like, what's FileMaker? So they did not see the value in adding us to their repository. So we're, hopefully one day maybe we'll be able to get them to see the value. So that means that you do have to come and download it from our website, which is cwpsnippets.com. And by the way, for anybody who's curious, CWP stands for Custom Web Publishing. It was a term that's been coined over the years when talking about doing integrations with FileMaker using PHP APIs, XML APIs, and things like that. And so we've just kind of incorporated that. So I have somebody had asked me, why didn't you just call it FM Snippets? Well, FM Snippets is actually something that's already out there. It's a name that's already taken, and it's completely unrelated to FileMaker. So kind of missed the boat on that one. So anyway, you do have to come to our website and you'll go to download. And yes, we do collect some, information because we like to see who's downloading it because we like to get excited about who's trying out our snippets and everything. So you can just fill in the form here. Um, and caveat this entire form and everything. We eat our own dog food. So everything about the infrastructure for downloading and licensing and registering your license and your websites, the license management system is all done with FileMaker, and it's all done using CWP snippets.
Ah, that's always fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So this
So
is a
when you
demo in of its own right.
yeah. So when you fill it out and you submit, you'll get a link sent to you with the download link for CWP snippets, and you'll get uh, oh, something that looks like this. Okay. So you get the plugin there, and I'm going to demonstrate installing it on my local WordPress system. If you're not familiar with this, if you want to go back to the one I did in November, we kind of went over how to use uh, WordPress local to build a local WordPress site on your local computer. But rather than go through all that again, we'll kind of skip ahead. So I'm using WP local to create a local WordPress version and just a fresh demo to work with. And so if we come here to plugins, then we go to add a plugin, upload plugin, and we just need to choose our plugin from the desktop.
Okay, so you choose what you downloaded to upload to WordPress.
Yeah. So we download it and then install and activate like any other plugin. So now that we've got it installed, the next important thing is all about setting up the database connections.
Yes.
So one of the things that we include as part of the whole CWP snippets to start with is we have a demo setup. And what we provide is an actual demo database that you can download right from the plugin admin panel. And this is what you're going to set up to connect to. So let's take a quick look at the demo database. It's called CWP Snippets. And you're going to want to open that up and you're going to want to, let me not skip ahead too far. All the credentials for the demo database are right here.
Okay.
So you have your admin username and your admin password. And then we've got an API username and password that we're going to use to connect to the website. So admin and admin123 is our admin username and password to log in. Let me get that one out of the way. And so this is a little demo database, and it's basically just built off of the contact database that's included with FileMaker. But we have added a couple of things. We've added a user account, and this is one of the things that that is required to be able to make the connection. You have to have a user account that has the access via FileMaker Data API extended privilege set enabled.
Okay.
And so the demo database already comes with that. It's already built in.
That's the only privilege set that you needed enabled for this to work?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then you'll want to upload this database like any other to your FileMaker server. And let's take a quick look. The other thing that you need to have on your FileMaker server is under connectors, I believe. FileMaker Data API, you have to have FileMaker Data API turned on your server.
Okay.
Those are the two key settings and things that need to be in place for you to make that connection.
Okay, you don't need to fuss with anything in web publishing, just DAPI?
Nope, just Dabby.
Okay,
Yeah, web publishing is, let's see, WebDirect, and nope, none of that needs to be set up. It's just the FileMaker Data API.
got it.
So once you have your, let me find my demo site again. Opening so many pages, like I'm getting lost over here. Again, now I've already got it uploaded to my demo server. So my dev server, this is my dev server address. Don't use that server. I'm going to get a whole bunch of people hitting my server now. So our database is CWP Snippets. Our default layout is contact details. Oops, I got some extra space in there. And username is API and API123. So once I've done that and I hit submit, it's automatically going to validate that connection. So this message, connection successful, tells me already that I am connected to my demo database uploaded to my server. So I have a successful database connection. With the demo setup, you already can go, and what we've provided is a bunch of template snippets for all of the basic functionality like create record, get records, find records. And so with this, all these template snippets that are all built in, you can go and preview them. And as you can see, we're already pulling data from our demo database.
Okay.
And so this is where you can go and kind of see what the data looks like. You can copy it. It's kind of something I mentioned when I was on before. The whole environment that I've built here with CWP Snippets was built as a learning environment in
Mm-hmm.
mind. Because I went through quite a learning curve trying to figure out how to work with the data API. And the resources were kind of scarce and hard to find. And so I wanted to build this in a way that at this point, somebody could go in and start playing with all these different templates and just look at how it all works and see how the coding is put together and see how the data comes through and just be able to kind of test and play. And with a demo database in place, there's no worry about hurting live data. So that's the first thing to do, is set up this demo database. The other thing that we ship the plugin with is actually a set of demo pages. So this is all directly out of that little contacts database. And it's a like 3-page working view, edit, um, and basically it demonstrates you can actually like play around with editing the data in the demo database with this set of demo files.
Okay, so to
So
recap really fast, make sure I understand everything. So we can take the demo database provided and fuss with it and connect it to the snippets, and then all the snippets that were listed there are made so they work really easily with the demo database, so you can fit and see what kind of features that you might want in your actual database.
yeah, and actually when it comes to building snippets, the way that we do it is I know if I know I want to find a record in the database, then I'll go to find records. Now with the free version, you can't duplicate it, but with the pro version, you could just duplicate this and change the category and put it into your production snippets and then
Mm.
go in and edit it. But with the free version, you actually have to manually go in and copy and paste it. So in the free version, we would go to copy and then we would create a new snippet and then we just drop it in here. And that's our starting point
Okay.
for being able to write. Um, the demo snippets all have this extension
Mm-hmm.
underscore demo. And so to hit the live database, the production database, you would just remove this from there. So now this is now pointed to the production database. And since we're talking about that, let's go set up a production database.
Let's say, like,
So,
yes, how do I set up a production database?
so we've got demo set up, but under settings is where you would actually connect your production database. So I'm still going to use my demo server, but on my dev server, I have a copy of FM starting point.
Hey, real quick,
So,
pause. Your screen's lagging a little for me. You clicked settings, I
okay,
think, and I don't think you were on it
I
on
wonder
my
if I
end.
should,
Stop sharing and reshare for me. So we're in
so
settings. What are we doing in settings?
we are setting up the production database. So in this
Okay.
case, where we were using FM starting point as a production database. Let's see, what was L2 home, I think was the default. And now I got to remember what I used for a username and oh, let's see. Let's see if what I set up as a API user. I think I might have to look up the password. Manage security. Oh, I'm still using the API. So maybe I'm using, let's try this. There's my password for the API in this in FM starting point. There we go. So now we're connected to FM starting point. So if we were to go back and go to the snippet that we just created and do fix that, and we were to do find records, and let's see, I need a layout in FM starting point for, let's go with the account. Sorry, I don't have any of the layouts memorized for starting points.
No, you're good. I have a couple of them memorized, but it depends. I work on a database that's like a altered version of FMSP, so some of the numbers got changed, so now I get a little messed up sometimes.
Actually, one of the things we're going to need, I'm gonna drop this in here real quick, but I need to go back to my templates because one of the things we're going to need, we have a function that's called get FileMaker layout, which is
Ooh.
essentially your go-to layout function. So, unless you're using the default layout that we set, any other
Mm-hmm.
layout that you want to use, you've got to use FM go to layout once you've made your connection. And now we're going to go to the account data entry layout. And then we can change our find criteria here. I probably should have just used get record instead. Um,
Okay, so those are
yeah,
all FileMaker fields it's hunting for, like the email address to address.
yeah. Like what would be an account, a field in account in the
Mm-hmm.
account table that we should search in?
Okay, so point out for me on the snippet all the things that I would want to change to go for FileMaker real fast, because I'm curious. So the email address is one of them. We need to go to the
Yeah. So
layout.
what we're looking to do here is we're looking to run a find to
Mm-hmm.
find a specific record. So the first thing we need is, do we want to find by an email address? What would be the field? Let me check it. We have, yeah, what's the email? So that's that right there. Just, and as long as it's on the base table that the layout is based on, then we don't need the table name.
Interesting. Okay, good to
So
know.
we can just do email, and I know I've got my email in there, so equals Ron. See, and then this is just the number of records being pulled, stuff for pagination. This is sort stuff. Like we can just take this all out if we're not using it. This is to run a script after we do the find. We can just take that all out and bring it down to its bare minimum of basically do a find for this email. Um, Hopefully we'll just get the one record. So we can just strip it down to this is a simple find. Do a find for the email Ron at RGC data, and then we can save that. And if we hit preview, there we go. We've pulled up the record. So now we're pulling the data from our production database, which in this case is FM starting point.
Got it. Okay.
So we've got a two-tier environment. Basically, the demo environment is a dev environment or whatever. It gives you a
Hmm.
playground to play in. And then we've got our production environment where you would go and uh,
Okay.
connect to your
So
live database. So,
basically, all you need to give it from your database after you connect it to the server is a account, security account, like the API account.
yep,
And the API account needs to have that privilege set checked.
yep,
And then you need DAPI turned on your server. And then you basically go copy the layout shenanigans, and it
yep,
works now. So it
yep.
does it everything. Okay. Can I see it working on the FileMaker end? Because I'm nosy.
Yep, sure can. So in this case, we'll go to the demo one because we don't have anything set up for editing
Mm-hmm.
right now. Not in this website. We do in our demo site that we've got all connected to FM Starting Point. So, but let's just demonstrate it with the demo database. So if we go to CWP Snippets, let's say we go to our sample website, our samples, and we preview our contacts list. And then let's take a look and find, there's my record in the contacts list. So we go to details and then we can hit edit. And then from there, for instance, we can see I've actually got 3 records in the, uh, 2 records in the phone portal. Oh, wait. Yeah. Is that, I can't remember if this is set to create record on. So we can actually email. That's the one. Where is email? Oh, I think I've got the wrong one. I got to open my hosted one. That's why it wasn't matching up. I was still looking at the one on my desktop. So this is my hosted version where I've already been kind of messing around with the data in there. So now if I look at email, I can see I've got some blank records in there that I had messed around and put in there. So from right here, I can hit delete those 2, and they're gone. Or I can come back in and I can add another email. And then in this case, I'll have to hit save contacts to add the email. And when I come in here, there's that email added right there. So we're actually adding portal records. Um, and one of the reasons the samples were designed to be able to demonstrate stuff like editing portal records, because it's easy enough to edit all the records, the fields that are on the base table, but editing through portals and stuff like that is a little more complicated. So, uh,
Yes.
so
So
those demos show how to do that. This one I have not updated with all the neat uh, image cropping. We need to get back. Yeah, we need to get back to our demo and kind of update it, because we haven't looked at it in a while, and we've come a long way already since then. But you can change the image, oops, and save it, and that has changed my image in the database. So all of this stuff is live connected and live making changes right in the database. So,
that's okay. And I'm sorry. How do you are all the snippets automatically on if they're in that list?
in here,
Yeah. Oh, okay. Status. There's a little. Okay. I'm trying to figure
yeah,
out.
there's a status. We can turn them on and off.
Got it. Okay.
And just something that I've been showing the view preview mode by
Mm-hmm.
clicking view preview, but all of these are usually what preview mode is just for previewing.
Mm-hmm.
But the way we're going to pull all that data in and use the snippets is actually by using a short code in the actual page. So let's kind of show how that works real quick. Um, let's say I wanted to do the contact list, and I do here, and I go to a page in the page editor. Yeah, fresh website, it's all over the place. And then I just drop the short code in there. Let's call it contacts, and hit publish. Now, if I go over to my preview website and I just go to the contacts page I just created, it
What?
pulls, yeah, it
That's all
pulls
you
that.
have to do?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Now,
gonna
in
ask.
the case of this, the
Hmm.
contact samples, I would have to recreate a page for each, the contact list, the contact detail, and the contact add edit. And then I'd
Ah,
have to edit those snippets to point to the right pages. So
okay,
there's a little bit of work involved in doing that, but
okay. What happens if I want to change the color of the buttons?
well, so that's one of the beautiful things that we have with CWP snippets. And actually, you won't find this with many of the other snippet offerings out there. If we go to the contact list, we also have a field for custom CSS. So
Ooh,
you can do CSS to accompany every snippet. One of the things that the Pro version gives you is the ability to go into styles and you can create a snippet dedicated for CSS that's global. So you actually like have your own style sheet for
standardized.
the entire site. But in the free version, and we've found even with the Pro version, a lot of times we'd rather have specific CSS accompanying that specific snippet because it probably isn't going to be used anywhere else other than, in a lot of cases. So it gives us the ability to kind of just add that CSS exactly where we need it. So
Okay, that's really nice, actually. Okay,
yeah, so
cool.
we can come here and somewhere in here is the FM button. So we can go and change that um, background color right there. If we wanted to change it, we could change it right there. So
Got it. Okay. Oh, and you've commented it all, so you can go see what you're actually
yeah,
looking at. Thank you. I am
yes.
not super
And
familiar with CSS. I have like some mild familiarity, but like a lot of
yeah,
FileMaker developers, I don't necessarily go hunting in other
yeah.
languages very often.
Especially with all the snippets in the library that we're providing, we are trying to go to extraordinary lengths to comment everything. And some of the other stuff that we do is the plugin itself. We've developed all this documentation, getting started, connecting to FileMaker, a user guide, the core concept, shortcode reference shows you how to use the shortcodes. Shortcodes can also be used with attributes. So you could specify one of the things that I had prepared to see if I would have time to demonstrate today is one of our snippets that we have available is called field data. And all that is it pulls it you get a record, you've got your list of data from that record, and you use the shortcode by using a attribute. Let me see. Trying to think if I've got someplace that I've already got that up and running that I could demonstrate. Yeah, not quickly, but you would use a shortcode attribute uh, to say like field equals company name. And then you would just be pulling in the company name. Let's see. Actually, I think I can. Let me, FileMaker starting point. Well, before I jump over to that, let's finish kind of demonstrating the fact that we've got all of this stuff documented
Hmm.
out. We've got a bunch of functions that we've built into the plugin that you can use in as helpers. And throughout this week, hopefully, we'll get a chance to demonstrate a bunch of those. So we are really uh, trying to do everything we can to give all the information, all the commenting, all the documentation to make this um, so much easier to use, to take the mystery out of it. So, um, all right, let's go back to our demo site because I think I can demonstrate this pretty quickly. So we have got field data is the name of the snippet that I was just talking about. And if we look at preview, we actually have this one uh, providing the documentation in preview mode. So if you look at it in preview mode, let me turn off the response real quick. You look at it in preview mode, you basically get some instructions to preview. You have to add a field name to the URL in preview mode. Oops. So if we add that field name, now we get the field name, and this is what this snippet is going to return. In preview mode, it returns all of this, but it does not
Oh,
do that in regular mode. So this is all kinds of documentation and instructions on how to use this snippet. But the way you would actually use the snippet is you would go to Pages.
mm-hmm.
Let's grab the shortcode. Let's go to, actually, yeah, we can do that. We can go to Pages, open link a new tab, and we'll go to the home page of our demo site. We could take that shortcode, and instead of our widgets right here, we could put the shortcode in. Let me get that field. What was it again? Company name. So field equals company name. And we add that to our shortcode. So
Okay, so you just add a space and
yeah, and we do have to
quote
quote
it.
it
Okay.
out here. Okay. So now, oops, now when we save and go to our home page, let me jump there, visit site.
Oh, but if you
Yeah,
change if you change the field at all in FileMaker, it'll change to a new name.
yeah. Um, let's see, is that the name we were looking at here?
Widgets, yeah, widgets
Yeah,
are us.
widgets are us. So we've got the name. So we've just pulled the name into that block in the WordPress page.
Okay. Uh,
One of the other things that we do with the snippet, so if I take this out, it talks about not only can you this snippet like pull just the raw field data, so you can drop that into those containers in the WordPress page, then you can use your editor in WordPress to style it. You don't have to worry about custom CSS or anything because you can style it in the page itself. So I can
okay.
come in here and I can do my styling from here and use
Oh,
all of the tools here to style it because all this is bringing in is the raw data. So you can just
okay.
plug the raw data right into your elements in your page. And you can you could run this same snippet a half a dozen times on the same page. And what we've done is we've set it up with caching. So it's only going to pull the data the first time, and it's not going to hit your FileMaker database 6 times in the same page. It's going to pull it the first time, and then the subsequent uses are going to reuse that data without having to hit the database again. So
Okay, that's a really there's a lot happening here and it's good. It's
yeah, I
all
know
good
that was a
stuff.
little confusing, but it's the idea that if you have that short code in the page,
Mm-hmm.
you're reaching out to FileMaker and you're getting the data and you're pulling it back. If you have another short code in that page, if it's not done properly, then it's going to make another call to FileMaker to pull that very same data again. And if you have that going on 6 times in that page, then you're making 6 calls with one page load. But what we've done with the snippet is we've created caching. So it will only reach out and grab that data once, and then it will save that data to the WordPress database. And every
Ah,
subsequent, so it's saving the raw data. So
okay.
if we go back to show the data true, it's pulling this raw data, this PHP array, and it's saving it to the WordPress database. And then the next time you call that snippet checks to see if it exists in the WordPress database. And if it's there, it uses it from there.
That's nice. How
Yeah.
often does it update again? Like if I change, what happens if I go
You
wildly
have
change my
complete
company name?
control over how often it fetches that data. So in this case,
Ah,
we've set it, this setting here sets it to 7 days.
okay.
So it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 people hitting your website between now and 7 days from now, it will only pull the data once.
Got it.
Then 7 days from now, the first one that hits it, once this expires, will pull the data for the next 7 days.
Got it. Okay, that's nice. And I assume you
Yeah.
can force a refresh if you randomly update a field.
Yep. What we have is like in here, let's go to our one of the things that we provide and show you how to do is under our preferences, we've got a flush cache. So it's cached that data to the database, but I can come in here and flush it so that it'll grab new data. So
Oh, okay.
so if I make a change to any of the data in the FileMaker database, then I would follow that up by flushing the website cache so the website can grab new data.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so like I said, we've gone through a long way to try and manage how often we're hitting that FileMaker database. Because as we discussed the last time I was on, FileMaker is not meant to be the back end of a website. And so you can't just without any planning and foresight create a bunch of pages that are constantly pulling data from FileMaker. So yeah, so it takes a little planning and foresight. So that's something that needs to be considered, and it's stuff that we'll talk about more throughout the week. Um, our plans too are to create a bunch of videos, tutorials, and stuff on how to do all this stuff so that we can pass on everything that we're learning. So just another quick demonstration with this particular snippet, the field data snippet,
Mm-hmm.
you can also like what we did is I said, okay, I want, instead of just getting the raw data, I want to ask that snippet for like, in this case, a contact card. So I want it to actually build a little section. And so if I put in the field and I use field equals contact card example, instead of just pulling the raw data, it's actually going to pull a custom formatted contact card because that's what I built into the snippet. So you have that ability to kind of customize the snippet and we provide this to people, but then you can go and say, in another use case, I needed a countdown timer. So I dropped this into AI and I gave AI a copy of the data and I told AI that I needed a countdown timer and it built it into the snippet for me. I pasted it back in and I was able to call a countdown timer in that section of the page. So it's really neat, what can be done with that. So the way this would be used, for instance, is if I took this. So the versatility in all this is in the custom coding, is when you go in and you customize and build what you need and what you want. But we're giving you the starting point to build from. Like, a lot of these snippets are your starting point to build from. But going back to the way this would be used, if I were to go over to, let's show this, the contact page, and this is all I have on my contact page. But if I were to go to, all right, come on, let's go back over to pages and hit contact. And from here, I can select short code from my widgets, drop in my short code, and add field equals contact card. Oops, I was jumping around to the wrong ones. Contact card example, and we kind of quote it out. Now, if I publish and save, and I come to my contact page and refresh, now it drops that contact card right where I want it.
Oh, okay. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Uh, I have a question from earlier that I'm going to toss at you.
Okay.
Uh, I just tried downloading the image cropper, and it loaded an HTML page with some attributes. Is there another component I need to get somewhere? Question mark.
Let's take a look at what's included with the image cropper and see if we can kind of wrap our heads around what's going on. So image cropper, we download that. So the way we would use that is we would extract it. And in this case, oh, yeah, the image cropper. So this would be something that we would probably end up using. Oh, right. I didn't set it up for the free version on this one. So then what we would do is go, yeah, I got too many tabs open. I don't. So we would go to import, and this is where the pro version comes in because you need pro to import. and go to image cropper and then import the JSON file. And then we would go to image cropper and we could set some use demo database, logging, contact details. This is all our settings for using the demo database. And then we would go to CWP Snippets and go to the sample pages. And that's where our image cropper sample is going to be. And we would run preview. And there it is. So that's pulling from our demo database. Then we could edit and image crop and documents.
Oh, okay. The person at the question says they got it. That makes sense.
Okay. I can go to documents and I can load my image, crop it, and save. And now that's my image in my demo database is back to that image.
Yep. Sometimes
So,
you just need to see it to figure out what's happening.
yeah. So, and like I said, the image cropper, I built it to be a pro importable one because so that it would have all this, we could set all these settings. I'll look into making a free version of that one because that one really doesn't need to have all the pro functionalities. It could probably be built into a free snippet. So I'll look into adapting it for the free version. So,
Awesome.
yeah. Any other questions? I know we're already running over, so I don't know if we're.
Not at the moment. So mostly people just saying it's cool, which it is.
I hope this made sense to everybody because I know I kind of feel like I was all over the place today, but I did cover a lot of stuff that I was hoping to cover, talking
Yes.
about,
You covered a
planning
lot.
yeah.
And anything that I don't understand when we get into stuff tomorrow, don't worry. I will drag you down with me until
Okay.
we're good. So I
Yeah.
think I
So
mostly followed it.
tomorrow we'll look into what I'm hoping to do is we'll pray to the demo gods. I'm hoping to actually show how I built the invoices and the payment integrations for the payment system that we demonstrated earlier on. So when we go to um, accounts and invoices, so when we go to these pages, I'm hoping to demonstrate how to build these pages and integrate the payment system. So
Excellent. That'll be awesome. All right. With that, a little preview what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Y'all should hopefully tune right back in because I'm excited to see how it's done. Thank you, Ron. Sincerely, this is awesome. This
you're
is a
welcome.
very cool product. The functionality is fantastic, and if you do need the pro functionality, which sounds equally fantastic, it is relatively inexpensive. So,
Yeah.
thank you everybody for coming. I'm gonna let y'all go, and we're gonna roll my end credits. Bye, everybody. Come back tomorrow for more cool stuff.